Yeah. I just got out another rehab clinic, that's an admission. There's a lot of shit I haven't addressed in active addiction. Come on, sit back and listen, I'm not a mathematician, but it's shocking adding up all the plastic cups that I'm pissed in. All the staff and clinicians asking about prescriptions, having a chat about my past habits and bad decisions. I'm a fuck up who ended up twisting caps on a mission, blacking out in my bedroom and passing out in the kitchen like a misfit.
All right, we are back in business to do business, as my good friend Jim O'Malley says when we have meetings in the morning. He says, we're in business to do business. My name's Brendan Ahern. This is Matthew Fitzmaurice. This is a health and wellness podcast now, as I was told by Paul Gentile. He seems disappointed.
Paul's checked out.
Paul's like, fuck these guys. And I don't blame him. It's fucking boring, you know what I mean? But hey, results are often, acquired through boring practices. You know what I mean?
What did I start at? I was 302 this morning.
Yeah, 311 or something like that.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
9 pounds in a couple weeks.
You're doing great. By the way, I think I'm down like 4 or 5.
There you go.
And I've been following my routine. By the way, I have to say this, because I used to be a guy like, I like to stay up a little later, and I like to get up around 6:30 or whatever it was.
Yeah, you've been loving waking up early.
I tell you, I got used to it now, and like, I was actually bullshit last night, because we had all the guys over here for the, so I lost my fantasy league.
If I was in your shoes, I'd be bullshit.
What do you mean?
Losing and then not being able to participate and then having to host.
So I volunteered. So the loser. So here's the way my we're gonna talk a little bit about football and stuff today, probably some other shit. But here's the way my league works: 13 guys. Loser of the league has to sit out for a year and buy a gift for everybody.
Yeah.
So somebody like Gentile got like pullovers for everybody. I'm probably gonna get like hoodies at some point.
But hosting's not part of it. You volunteer
not usually,
to
but
host.
so. I don't want to go into too much details. One of the guys who's a very prime member of the league was not able to make it because he's had a little bit of a health issue. Nothing serious, but like was in the hospital. So instead of going to Hooters, I said, let's just do it here. And I'll buy fucking a couple 30 racks, fucking get you guys drunk and I'll host it. So basically what I did was I had to, because the guy who wasn't here.
You draft for him?
He drafted for himself, but I had to run the draft for him.
Oh, nice.
So they're all out there, like in the front of my garage with the lights on, fucking having a gay old time for themselves, literally and figuratively.
And you were
these
banished.
guys just blowing each other out there.
You were just banished to the
and
back
I was
corner.
in here, and I'm just typing in names.
Yeah.
So that's the new rule, is that's part of the loser now. So I get a year off, and then I get back in.
Yeah.
Which is good, because we have a pull in the court. When are we doing the draft?
3rd, Tuesday night.
Tuesday night. Okay.
7:30.
We can do it on Zoom.
You're gonna
we
have
can
to
do it either way.
You're gonna have to set up a Zoom, but I mean, ESPN does the live chat anyways. Let's. But yeah,
Everyone wants to get on Zoom.
Tuesday
We'll do that.
night,
Talk some shit.
Yep.
We get some good guys in that league. By the way, Buggy's league. So Buggy was sitting here last night.
Yeah.
He's in the league with me, with those guys that I'm banished from right now. He's also in the Pull in the Cork League. He's also in a league with Bill Simmons' cousin Sal, Jimmy Kimmel's cousin.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think John Hamm's in the fucking thing. The kid's lives different lives, you know? He's got losers like us, and he's got famous people he's hanging out with.
John Hamm had lunch with me.
Yeah, it's fucking one of the best lines of all time. If I get Buggy one time, he'd be a great guest. You know, the problem is a lot of my friends have like jobs that they don't, want to be public record. As my good friend Paul Gentile says, the internet is undefeated.
Yeah.
So anyways, we had the draft last night. It was great. I was just a little bit annoyed. Not annoyed. I was glad. I love those fucking guys. We had a blast. I let them come in here afterwards. They had a few beers. I kicked them out at 11:30 on the dot. I was like, all right, you guys got to go.
That's huge prep for you.
Seeing it?
Seeing who goes.
I don't even remember. I was just
Really?
fucking firing in names. They're out there, and 2 people are talking over me, and I'm trying to yell out. So, like, I don't know. Like,
I used to love, dude, at one point I was in 5 leagues.
Yeah,
And it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And I used to love getting the first one out of the way, because you would learn some things, you would see where people are going, and sometimes you would even hear about people that you didn't even know about.
Yep.
Like rookies that were coming out or whatever.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great getting that first one in. I was hoping every year, I was just hoping that like my cheapest league was first, so that I had some experience by the time I was going into my expensive leagues.
I can't remember where I heard it, and it would crack me the fuck up. It was at a draft I was at, or I must have heard it on. Maybe I heard it on Simmons' podcast. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. It gets like the 13th or 14th round, and somebody's like picks out some guy, and somebody goes, "Excuse me, what's that gentleman do for employment?" It's like some fucking guy on the back of the roster for the Chiefs or something.
It always happens where someone drafts something that tore their ACL like the day before, and they just didn't know about it.
It's the best. I had my buddy Adam Dennison, who has the Longhorn tattoo, is in here, and he's like, "Is he hurt?" He's like, "I don't know if this guy's hurt." So yeah, I mean, I love fantasy football. I'm not the biggest fucking studier and all that shit. Like, I usually would come in the middle of the pack. That's fine for me. Yeah. It's not a cheap league. It's like $250 or $275. When Buggy won it, this is a great story. So Buggy wins it, and it pays like, say, $1,600 or $1,800. So we were like, oh, like they all, if you don't do anything like cool afterwards, like with the belt or something, they kind of give you some shit, right? So they're giving Buggy shit, and I knew what he was doing. So he's just like, I pull his truck around the corner from they all live on the same street. We get a radio. Buggy spent every dime he had from the league with the woman who makes Ric Flair's robes.
Yeah.
And had her make him a red and white robe in the Melrose colors, sequined with like, I forget what's on the back, Buggy and Champion or something like that. And then I drove down the street with like, we got the Champions playing and Buggy in the back standing up. Like,
That's
it was fucking great. He's a great dude. So, by the way, do you see just some news stories, by the way, that I've been paying attention to? How about this Ben Affleck, man, J-Lo, huh? I know this is old news, but
getting divorced
they're
again?
getting divorced, yeah.
They've been divorced before, right? Or
Yeah,
separated?
I think they were married and divorced, and now they're divorced again.
Yeah. He's the best, dude.
He is the best dude.
I love seeing him. Did you see the one where he got out of the limo?
Yeah, he shuts the door.
Well, no, she was right behind, and he was just like, huge exhale, and he just walks away, and she's like...
So he was on, I'll send you a link. It's a really good interview. He was on an interview with Simmons one time. Just cranking butts the entire time, which I fucking respect. And he was just like talking about real life shit. And he's like, dude, you could tell he hates that shit now. He's so sick of it. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's her life. You know what I mean? It's like, he doesn't want to be fucking...
We talked about it last week a little bit.
Yeah.
Where you'd rather be the guy that helps people with their songs rather than the superstar.
100%.
I'd rather be someone's caddy than fucking Tiger Woods, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'd like Tiger Woods' money. That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, but 10% of it is not bad either.
No, I don't mind that at all. Anyway,
he's over it.
I'm fucking Team Ben. Let's just
Me too.
fucking. I'm a Ben guy.
Me too.
Everybody knows that about me. Fucking hometown hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like a guy who's a little some demons in him too. You know what I mean?
Him and Marky Mark right up my alley.
He'd be the type of guy. Fuck that guy. He'd be the type of guy like Benuzzo would be texting like 4 days go by and like
It's just
crickets
not
and like
logging.
he's just off the fucking. He's off the
Get
walls.
back in my fitness pal.
Yeah,
Ben's like, fuck
Log
off.
your shit. Speaking of that, though, the whole group's been doing good. I'll just touch on it for a minute. We don't need to make this a fucking health podcast, but I've been. I know Producer's not the biggest fan of the Peloton, but I've been. I fucking bought the thing for test, and now I feel like I want to ride it.
Yeah.
I get it for 5. I fucking jump on the thing. I do a half-hour workout.
I haven't been
And
on
then-
the Peloton since February.
Yeah, and then I've been getting my steps in, and I've been eating really clean, and I've been cutting way down the booze. This weekend is going to be a problem, as Kevin Ma would say.
It's going to be a problem for me, too. We got a 4-day weekend coming up,
And you're going away.
and I'm going up north.
I told Tommy, I go, first of all, we're thinking about employing Tommy as our new Reels producer.
Yeah.
He informed me that he has great Reels abilities, to which Tess said on FaceTime, your Reels stink, to which he replied, my Reels are fire.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever used the term fire.
I love it.
By the way, got in for 2 plays in the varsity scrimmage the other day.
Hell
First
yeah.
play, cuts in, takes down the fucking running back. I mean, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
TFL.
Kid was on cloud
Hell
19. Yeah, he did. He's doing great. Team looks good. I'm loving it, dude. This kind of gave me the idea for the football season and stuff, but I'm fucking... I mean, you know how it is. When you're watching your kid play a sport, it's fucking awesome.
What's he, a junior?
He was sophomore.
Oh, sophomore.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. So he'll be... they didn't field enough kids, I think, for freshmen, so like, which is rare for Melrose, but... So I guess I think he's going to be dressing like 3 days a week.
Really?
Yeah.
He'll get some run.
I don't think at varsity. Like
No.
maybe like if somebody gets hurt. There's a kid that plays his position as a captain. He's fucking great.
Oh, okay.
And he's a big dude. And I go, is that the kid you tell me you go against? He's like, yeah. He's like, if I get 1 good play out of 5 on him, like just containing him, like it's a fucking great day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I told him that you got a fishing kayak.
Yeah. What
So
do you say?
he goes, I go, oh, Fitzy got a fishing kayak, and he goes, they make fishing kayaks for guys the size of 50? I go, yeah, I guess so. And he goes, tell him not to lean right. He's going to be in that water like pretty quick.
Thanks, Tommy.
Fired from cutting reels immediately.
It hasn't been a long-term position for anyone that tried to do it.
Nobody's lasted.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Nobody can put up with us.
We'll see.
We're demanding.
There's big shoes.
Yeah,
big shoes to fill.
Fonz's shoes that they had to fill.
Yeah.
Sean B did it for a while. Sean was actually good at it. Here's the other problem. I'm a little bit of a control freak. I got to free up the control. So I got Tommy. I worked out a deal with him. It's like one large chicken finger from Liberty Bell a week. That's his going rate these days. Yeah, easy money. That's all he cares about. So, yeah. So, anyways, I am. So there was another. Oh, the Kelsey's got $100 million for their fucking podcast in 3 years.
I saw that. Yeah.
I mean, see, here's the problem with podcasts. Not this one. This isn't a problem. It's like almost like you got. I talked to Will Noonan about this. We got to get on at some point. I want to do it at Dot Tavern, but working out a date. Summer's difficult. He was like, dude, these things have machines behind them. You know what I mean? So it's like they have he talked to the Red Sox about doing it. He almost was like just about to do one with them where they would get to interview players and shit. And I was like, he's like, well, what if it doesn't like get, and like, oh, we'll just push it and we'll push it in other places. And like, they got budgets for that shit.
Yeah.
You know, we're on the shoestring budget. We're on the fucking Patreon budget. By the way, shout out to the Patreon members right now.
Yeah.
The lifeblood of the show that keeps it going. So anyways, yeah, they got $100 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like they fucking need it.
I know.
That, and listen, I'm sure it's fine. I've never listened to it, so
I've seen clips, and I think Jason's awesome. Travis stinks. I can't stand him.
It's a fucking zero, as Kirk Minahan would say. By the way, shout out Dave Cullinane back as the producer on the Kirk Minahan show. So congratulations, all the Mina fans are very happy about that.
Any issues with getting your steps in and riding the bike? I've had a couple issues. I got a big blister on my toe.
Oh, really?
And I got a little chafing going on my undercarriage. So today it worsened up, and I think it was I wear boxer briefs.
Yeah.
And the specific boxer briefs are probably due for an upgrade that I had on today. They're the type of ones that your mother was like, what if there's an accident? You can't be wearing those underwear, you know, because all the MTs are going to see your balls hanging out. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Santa comes in December.
Yeah.
That's when fucking underwear comes, you know?
Yeah, I actually bought a bunch of new pair because I was down in Carolinas, and that was the one thing I forgot. So I went and got like a new 5-pack of
you
fucking...
cheated the system.
Yeah, it was great. No, I haven't been having any issues with that, and like luckily I work for myself, so like instead of going to lunch or like having lunch at my desk, like I just walk the lake every day, which is great. So I'm lucky that way. You know, a guy like Bob C, it's tougher to get steps, and he's fucking behind his desk, fucking
all the time,
fighting with fucking different various institutions about change orders for business and shit. You know, but Mohan's doing great. The boys are doing. We're clicking right now.
Yeah,
we're clicking now. We got a weekend coming up for us, so it's
big weekend.
It's you know, we'll have to see how we do. I am going to get my movement in for sure.
I'm going to be kayaking. I don't know if my phone's going to track kayak steps.
That's all right. You know you get it in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, we've been doing good, and the food intake has been good, and I think Panuzzo is getting mildly less annoyed with me. Seems like, you know what I mean? And he, by the way, I have to say this too. I have to give a shout out to him for 1 second, and then we can get off of fucking the journey of me and Fitzy to health. He made a whole video for us that he only does for like, you know, paid clients.
Yeah.
It was fucking unbelievable. Like I'm going to share it with Buggy because his like stuff would be similar to yours.
Yeah.
Like Buggy's been doing great, by the way. Buggy's been killing it, and he hasn't been really going like partying or anything. Listen, sometimes you got to go. It's like that fucking thing you always see. Like sometimes you need to go away by yourself and come back a new person. I'm just doing it publicly. Yeah, he made a whole video for us talking about everything.
Yep.
What we can do, all this stuff, and how we can get our numbers better and shit. And he actually built out a specific thing for you because you like to indulge, on the weekends, and as do I. So, I don't know if I'll get. We'll see. If I get 10 pounds by the 21st, maybe not. You know what I mean? We'll see. But I'm like on a good track where I think I can. Did
you track your alcohol? True.
Yeah.
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 Did you just dial it back a little bit, or is that a normal week for you?
Well, dude, to be honest with you, on Friday night I was fucking exhausted because I was getting at 5.
Yeah.
So like I had dinner and then I think I had 7 beers that night.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what Saturday was, but I had the 2 IPAs there, and then I had a few Miller Lights with Kevin.
Yeah,
and then I was done. I tracked. I had pizza that night, whatever. So
You didn't drink Sunday.
didn't have a stitch of alcohol on Sunday.
That's where I messed up.
Yeah, you got into it a little bit. You sent me some pictures. I'm like, oh, you look like you're having fun. No, I've been super busy at work too, so it's like I really couldn't be less than 100% for Monday. And I'm trying to not be less than 100% for Mondays. Work's starting to turn over and go pretty good, so I'm gonna keep that train going. Count the wins. Panuzzo's a beast, dude. He's a different animal, but the shit, I can make fun of that stuff as much as I want, like, affirmations and fucking whatever, and I do often. It fucking works, you know what I mean? Working for him, so it can work for you too. So listen, if you got a bunch of money kicking around, you want to get a fucking personal guy who's gonna fucking make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, put you on a plan, that's your guy. I think he's done with pro bono work for now.
Or just subscribe to the Patreon. His number's there.
Yeah, and we're gonna do a Zoom with him. And probably what we'll do is do like 2 in a week, and that will go maybe into the Patreon first and then go public like a couple weeks later or something like that.
Nice.
For people who want it, you know what I mean? So anyways, that was that. It's funny because we're recording this on Wednesday.
Yeah, so we just
recorded on Sunday.
Yep.
But we got to get it in so we can get an episode out for
next week.
For next week, yeah. Oh, here's the other news story I saw today that kind of fucking I was kind of cracking up about. I was, doing my morning constitutional, as you would say, and I'm scrolling through like fucking, I don't know what it was, local news, and there's like a flamingo was spotted on the Cape.
Really?
And I guess like they get displaced sometimes by like typically not mass, but like up to like Virginia and shit from a hurricane. They get like all fucked up and like they end up in like a different state. And then once they're there, they don't really leave. So like we got a flamingo in the Cape somewhere. And there's pictures of it, and they're definitely like it's wild. It wasn't escaped from like a fucking zoo. It wasn't like the Stone Zoo didn't fucking lose one.
Will it die during the winter?
I don't know. I didn't get that far into it, but I don't think so because they weren't talking about like relocating it.
Yeah.
No, they must not because they're at the Stone Zoo and they must freeze their fucking dick off because that thing's outside.
They don't bring them inside for the winter?
I don't think so. We'll have to get the Stone Zoo guy on and find out. Barry, he's a good guy. He's fucking one of the best Stone Zoo guys I've ever met in my life.
But he's divorced.
But
So
he's a piece of shit. Well, lost all his money in the crash of 2008. So
it's Jim's brother.
He's Jim's brother. Yeah, the guy from the golf course from last week. So, anyways, I was just thinking. I'm like, I was just thinking if that flamingo had like a real personality. It was like all his other flamingo buddies just been like, "Where the fuck is Frank? Fucking Frank." You know what I mean?
Classic Frank.
Classic Frank move. And then Frank's at the Cape, and he's like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck am I? Like,
It's like, is that a shock?
yeah. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, fucking, you're now in fucking Falmouth, and you were in fucking like Verde Beach or something like that. Not so long ago. I think Verde Beach is a place, right?
It's got to be.
Sure, sounds good. It's where all the flamingos hang out these days. It's a big flamingo hotspot.
Huge flamingo population in Verde Beach.
They love it. Yeah, we may have a guest later in the show. We'll see.
Yeah.
Sometimes reliable, sometimes not. Somebody's been talked about on the show many times, but has never appeared on the show. So we'll see if that happens. So anyways, that's the health update. You're drinking a Polar Seltzer. I'm drinking a Diet Dr. Pepper. We're just fucking like a couple gents.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Tommy's midway through the second season of The Wire. He's digging. He's like, is this like stuff down by the docks going to tie in? And I'm like, listen, just fucking relax.
Trust the process.
The process, all right? He's like, Omar showed back up finally.
Yeah. So
like
now
he was looking for a fucking.
he's pumped.
He was looking for a port in the storm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, give me those crab chips. So, anyways, yeah. So, we were going to talk about. Oh, you know what he said we wants for his birthday? So, give somebody that's a very dedicated listener to the podcast a stilt. So, I'm taking him to the Pats. I'm very lucky that I have a good friend of the Longhorn Lounge who is a neighborhood guy who owns a big company and has 2 sweet ass seats like in the Putnam box, which if you've never been in there, it's fucking sweet.
I have not.
And he like, so I have a couple buddies that have seasons. He's one of them. So I put the word out. I'm like, hey, look at tickets to Tommy's birthday in October 6th. play in Miami. The other guy's like, yeah, I minor how much, and like I'm just kind of like, oh, waiting, see if my boy Tim comes up, you know, and he's like, hey, he's like, I got you. He's like, you're all set, parking pass, everything.
It's fucking
So
sweet.
Tommy wants to go. He's like, I want to watch UFC the night before. I'm like, all right, you want to have your boys over? He's like, no. He's like, I don't want them yelling and shit while I'm trying to watch the UFC. I'm like, you're like an old man already. So we're gonna get UFC the night before, and he wants for that birthday night. He wants Doobie's wings.
Oh,
He's like, that's what I want for my birthday.
Yeah.
Doobie's wings and Pat's tickets. I'm like, it's a man of simple pleasures, and I respect that. You know.
I was in Billerica yesterday getting Connor a haircut.
Yep.
And sure enough, Somerville kid owns the barber shop up there, 968 The Shop. No free ads. And Doobie follows him. Doobie and his son get his haircut there, too.
Yep. There you go. Great haircuts are given there.
Stickers on the door.
I love it. That's free ad. That's not a free ad. That's a fucking paid ad.
Yeah.
I also am wearing, by the way, my pulling the cork bracelet has not come off me since Riley gave it to me.
Let's go.
It's not coming off me. I'm gonna tell you right now. It brought some good luck this week at work.
Did it?
Things went our way a little bit, so I'm like,
Nice.
some kid I knew from high school. I saw him at the Tommy scrimmage. He's like, "What's up with that bracelet? Like, what's up with your face?
Yeah, fuck
fucking
off.
idiot,
Dickhead.
dickhead. Yeah, you want one? That's what's up with it. Gets you laid. This thing. You know what I mean?
It's so odd that someone would question that knowing that you have daughters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not one person has asked me what's up with this bracelet.
Yeah, well, you're 6'4" and fucking huge. I'm 5'10", the fucking loser. I'm a fucking idiot. I look like an easy roll, you know? But yeah, so
Take that off, pussy.
Yeah, hey, fuck face. Get down on your knees.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so anyways, so we got I got nothing planned for the weekend. I'm thinking about having a little party in here Saturday night.
There you go.
And the neighborhood guys and their wives. It's like, hey, not a key party or anything. Just fucking, you know, tilt back some brews and have some good conversation. I got you know what I really want to see? I have to say he was interviewed by Kirk on the Minahan show there the other night. Was Don Felder used to be in the Eagles.
Yeah.
He's got a fucking band that's like a killer band, and they're playing at Lynn Auditorium tomorrow night. It's $35 tickets, and they play like the whole Eagles set list.
Really?
Like Hotel California and all that shit.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people don't love the Eagles. I like the Eagles a lot. My mother was to spin those fucking records like it was her job back in the day. So I kind of want to go check that out. Now, am I gonna go to that? Probably not.
Yeah,
it's
it's
probably
tough.
doubtful. So kids went back to school today. First day of school was Reading. First day of school today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's crazy. Every year they do the same thing. You go back to school Wednesday, Thursday,
And then you're off.
you have a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, it's weird.
Which, I mean, I guess is fine. They get out earlier in the summer when next year when summer comes. But I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, it is weird. So, anyways, so they went back today. Tommy's all amped up. He's got fucking a bunch of his boys in his classes. He's like, yeah, I got fucking, all these guys from the team in this class. I'm like, sweet. So he's all pumped up. Tess is going, speaking of football, going to the fucking South Carolina game on Saturday.
Nice.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fucking watching that shit.
Does she have to pay being a student? Or is
No.
it just cheap?
No,
Oh,
I think I
really?
talked about this. Like,
Oh, you
yeah,
could
it's like
earn
social
points?
credit
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
Yeah, so she's been going to like some other games.
That's sick.
She seems to be settling in well, which is nice.
Yeah, that's good.
And yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I'm going to that game next month. We'll have to figure out recording times because I think I'm leaving Thursday morning, come back Sunday night. But yeah, football season's upon us. Now, I gotta put this. Football season's fucking awesome
I love it.
because actually the year in sports works out perfectly for me. Because in the summer, I don't really want to watch sports anyways. Basketball wraps up, and then you get baseball, and it's like, all right, I don't watch baseball, so I don't really give a fuck about it. But then, like, you just come back with a rager of, like, fucking college, pro. You got fantasy sports. You got fucking betting.
Yep. I'm not a big college guy.
Yep.
I just it seems daunting to keep track of all those teams and fucking whatever. But football season starting as summer winds down
Yep.
makes summer being done bearable.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
otherwise it starts getting cold, it
Yeah.
starts getting dark.
Yep.
And if you didn't have football, it would be fucking miserable.
Depressing.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's part of the country, especially. It's like,
Yeah.
once we get to January, I'm just like ready for a fucking ready to take my American bench press belt off and do something untold with it.
No
Like,
shit.
It's
Because
brutal.
it's fucking dark. It's
Yeah.
you only have light for like 8 hours a day.
I know. Danny's a huge. Speaking of Danny, it seems like his daughter did really well with all her tests she had to do at the children. Shout out to Danny and his wife, his girlfriend, and their daughter. So maybe we'll get Danny on here to talk some college football soon, see if he's freed up. So yeah, I love like. I mean, I can sit there and watch. Like, I like to bet. Now, I don't bet, like, I still bet the same amounts I bet in, like, fucking 2004.
Yep.
Like, I don't really, like, unless I'm, like, up on something, I don't usually go more than, like, $50, $100 a game. And I go periods where I won't bet. Like, I probably won't bet this weekend because all my money's in South Carolina right now. So, you know, that's one thing. And then I like to see how the season's going and stuff. But I love fantasy sports.
Yeah, fantasy's fun.
I like college football anyways, and Tommy's loves watching it now, so I'm like,
I was too deep into fantasy a couple years ago, so I took the last 4 or 5 years off. But through that whole entire time, I've been doing daily fantasy.
Yeah.
Because daily fantasy has been
awesome.
legal here
yeah.
for how many years? You know what I
DraftKings,
mean?
yeah.
DraftKings, FanDuel. And then once the sports books opened up, I started doing those. But you know how I bet. I bet fucking like $10 on a 17-leg parlay. And every once in a while, I'll hit something crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps my account going.
Yep.
Now, that being said, I did fire in a couple futures. I fucking love Trevor Lawrence, even though they're not projected to do well this year. I bet them to win the Super Bowl for $25, so that would pay like fucking $1,500 if it
Yeah.
hits, which that's probably not going to hit. I put 50 on him to win MVP of the league, which probably won't hit either. Same thing though, that pays about $1,500. That one had better odds, worse odds,
Yeah.
whatever you say. It's more likely to
Yeah,
hit than
yeah.
them winning the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Yeah, someday I'm gonna buy that photo of him with the tattoos on his face right there off of you.
Well, we were supposed to have on tonight. I had a couple people lined up. Josh the Ironworker had a union meeting, so he couldn't make it. John Knockel, my neighbor, who's a huge college football guy, who was on before with the golf stuff, he was gonna come on. Now, me and my buddy Levy are fucking like so I haven't been betting at all. I bet Keegan Bradley all the time.
Yeah.
He was fucking plus 10,000 last week and he won.
Oh, really?
He's like, how the fuck did we not bet fucking Keegan this week? And I'm like,
that's wild.
would have paid fucking like, because I would have put like $30 on. I would have paid like fucking whatever, $3,000 or something like that.
Jesus.
But anyways, we can't change the past. You know what I mean? We can only fucking look forward to the future. Yeah, so I got nothing planned for this weekend. I got maybe having the guys over because a bunch of them are around because the kids have football.
Yeah.
So I might do a little shindig in here. Plan on doing a hike in the woods on Saturday morning. My hiking partner Buggy is out of town for a couple days, so unfortunately he won't be with me. But might do that, and then yeah, that's about what I got. I got plenty of time to get my steps in and get in shape. You know, that's what I got.
Well, that's sounding better than mine. I'm gonna be by the lake the whole time, drinking and eating.
Well, it's nice you gotta do it, dude. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna still try to get a couple walks in, and I'll take the kayak out every day. I want to go fishing. I'll be fishing on the kayak, so I'll be getting a workout in. It might not translate into steps. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
With fucking
Whatever.
my phone on me, you know.
Listen, we gotta live a little
I
bit.
don't have one of the watches like you guys have.
Yeah, dude. Oh, this is the other thing I gotta say. Fucking fraud. So I bought a new pair of fucking Power Beats like about 6 months ago. Those are the ones that go over your ears, not like the big puffy ones.
Yeah.
This fucking pair of headphones, dude. I'm like, I'll walk around the lake and it starts like dinging like Siri. I've shut Siri off. I've tried everything. I don't know if it's the headphones or it's something with my phone. It's fucking. By the time I get halfway around the lake, I just shut the thing off and I'm walking in silence. It sucks. So I got to fucking
Raw dog in a walk.
yeah, I know. So I might buy a cheap pair just to see if it is the headphones.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to buy another $200 pair of these things and find out it's my phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm fucking annoyed. I'm like, by the time I'm around the lake, I'm taking them out because I'm like, this is fucking. It's like ding, boom, and then it like shuts off the YouTube or whatever I'm watching.
You don't like regular AirPods?
They don't fit my ears right.
No.
So they come out. Like, so like I have weird ears, I guess.
Did you try all the different
Bud sizes?
generations?
Well, I don't know. I haven't tried a pair of AirPods in forever, so maybe those would work.
Yeah, they have new ones.
But it's weird because it doesn't happen. It only happens on my iPhone. It works fine on the Peloton.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm fucking annoyed though. It's driving me fucking nuts because I love listening to tunes and fucking whatever podcasts and shit. That's all I do. So, but whatever. These are first world problems, I suppose. We're gonna do. I think we'll do voicemails a little bit early tonight
Okay.
because we got one from Doobie, I think one from Jump, and one from Joy Boats. Joy Boats has some questions in there. So why don't we do voicemails now?
Roger.
Jumptown Jump Line.
Yep.
Our guy Jumptown. You know him fondly. He's the man. He's the man at Nebraska Country Club. He's got some news he's breaking on this podcast, on this voicemail he left, I think. His number is
978-878-1907.
He's the man. He is the fucking man. I want to get him back on shortly because I want to talk conspiracies again. Heard a great Joe Rogan had some guy on who was the fucking like director of like aerospace something or like checking out UAPs, and he's like, I've seen some fucking shit. He was like saying that like he's like there was this guy like this. He's like we have videos that they just won't release like that fucking like blow your mind, and he's like talking about this. You know those like offshore oil rigs? There's one of those. The guy saw a fucking guys had a undersea fucking whatever it's called go by. It was bigger than the fucking oil rig, and they were like, and it was fucking flying, like moving. Like,
Really?
Yeah. So they're out there, boys. We just gotta. I don't know who they are. If they're the Anunnaki or what it is, but they're definitely fucking out there. Me and Tommy watched both Aliens movies in the last couple nights too.
Yeah.
Alien and Aliens. We're on a little Aliens kick, so maybe I'll go see that this weekend. I want to go see Romulus. Anyways, let's do voicemails.
Yo, it's your man Adam Jumptown, and if you didn't think I would go 2 weeks without leaving a voicemail, you're crazy. Brendan, you gotta let these people know it's the jump line. Get on the jump rope. You know, we don't know, but we do. Guys, listen, and I got a request from the boy Andy Ferg, and Donnie White reached out to me about slinging some beefs at this year's North Shore Beef Golf Tournament. I want to know what you guys have to say about that, and whether or not I should roll up there with Donnie White in the Denali food truck like old time's sake. Whip out that beef and slap it in your mouth. It's your man Adam Jumptown, keeping the quality high.
I mean, that's a
Is it even a
no-brainer.
question?
That's a no-brainer.
Obviously, do it.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I gotta get in touch with. Speaking of the Beefs tournament, Ferg was like, "I have you in for a team. You're away," and I was like, "All right, cool." And then Mohan's like, "I'll play with you." I'm like, "Yeah, great." And then he's like, I had totally not even thought. I'm like, "Oh, I play with Danny every year." So, but I didn't know he was gonna be around.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same team. So I got to figure it out because I think Kev Meyer might not be able to do it. He's got fucking bone spurs like in his elbow. He's on the fucking, he had some bursitis or something like that. He had to get drained. So we'll see. But yeah, I mean, listen,
Yeah.
what the fuck? That's not even a question.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, we'll fucking make it happen. So jump line, jump into the jump line, jump town.
Hey guys, so originally I was going to come on and promote the event that Jump and I are doing at Nabnasset for week 1 of football, but you know, now that you guys have decided to eat clean and not drink as much, I don't feel like promoting wings, ribs, and a brand new whiskey barbecue sauce, C-Train misguided spirits. I just don't feel like that's the right thing to do. So I might have to change my business model and do like Doobie's Buffalo cauliflower and quinoa bowls. I don't know. Just give me your input. But on to football. I'd love to hear either the best game that you guys have been to or been a part of. For me, 2013, I saw the Pats come back from 2 scores down against the Saints. Kembro Tompkins caught a nice back of the end zone touchdown with about 5 seconds left. And then in 19, when I was coaching for Billerica, we went into Everett and shut them out 22-0. And for a Somerville boy to go into Everett and beat them, that was a good feeling. Hope all is well. Glad to hear from you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.
Every game I've gone to has been a fucking rout or like a interesting game.
Really?
Yep.
I was at the Cincinnati game, though. We're on to Cincinnati game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was I think it was a Sunday night game or a Monday night game. And it was when they got smoked the week before, and Belichick's like, we're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what he answered that 6 times in the fucking press conference. And we went to that game. It was me, my wife, my brother-in-law, and sister-in-law. And it was a great game. We fucking beat them and then went on to, I don't know what year that was. So I don't know if we won the Super Bowl that year or whatever, but that was the on to Cincinnati game. That was a good time.
I have to say that in the last 3 years, I've gone to a game around Tommy's birthday. So I haven't been drinking.
Yep.
I'm just going to say it. Like, it's a fucking way more enjoyable fucking. Like, I had a couple of beers, but, like, I didn't, you're driving. So it's, you purchase cargo. So I think that's the fucking way to go, dude. Honestly, like, it's fucking awesome. And then you get home and you're like, oh, I'm not shit-faced on my mind.
Yeah.
Like, and it's Sunday. Because that is a dark time. Sunday night
Sunday
games,
night.
when you've been drinking all day, it's like,
Brutal.
oh, fuck me in the fucking ass. Here we go.
What up, Paul in the court? This is Joey Boats. First of all, I'd like to say thanks for all the nice words from the podcast the other day. Every once in a while I get down on myself, but then I listen to something like that and I go, wait a second. I am the best. I'm having some thoughts in my car today. You guys talk about food on the program, so I got a question here, okay? What is the one food item that is outside, like, your pantheon of conventional food items that you eat constantly? Like, what's your favorite meal that you'll have, like, once every, I would say, every month and a half? You just kind of sit there and you wake up and you go, I fucking need that. I need it, and you get it. It's not something you eat every day. For me, it's hot pastrami. I just had one. It was fucking delicious. And then I guess outside of hot pastrami, every once in a while I wake up and I'm like, big ups, man, the old island massive, but, the old island. And then I end up getting jerk chicken, which I had yesterday. So, yeah, give me your thoughts, please.
Joey Boats, shout out. By the way, you'll hear at the beginning of the show, I got to put it in there.
Yeah, I can't wait for
New
that.
entry music. And he said he's going to record it, like, for real.
Yeah.
So we'll have it, then we'll switch it out, but we're going to use him for the intro.
Yeah.
What's yours, do you know?
Boiled dinner, I like to have throughout the year.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Other than that, it's like meatballs, because, like, I know a lot of Italian families will have meatballs every Sunday. We don't do that. So we have meatballs every couple months. And obviously through the summer, we usually don't have meatballs because no one's leaving a pot on the stove or crock pot cooking in 90-degree heat all day, So meatballs and sauce, I would say. And that was one of my ones for football because the weather starts to turn and you want something like hearty like that, meatballs and sauce. I fucking love it on a Sunday.
Yeah, so one thing that's interesting is that we don't have a lot of, like, gluten food in the house because the girls have celiac.
Yeah.
You're really not supposed to cook that stuff in the same pots and pans you use for whatever. So I kind of got off pasta. I love pasta. Like, I fucking love it. But, like, I know it just makes me into a fucking meatball. And
we do chickpea or lentil pasta.
Yeah, I've done it and I like it. You know what I mean?
I don't mind it.
The one thing for me, my, like, fucking Achilles heel, and it's like been way less. Like, I don't even know the last time we got it. But it happens every once in a while. It's usually coupled with a bad hangover, is Chinese food.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm a fucking Chinese food stan. I fucking love the shit. I know it's fucking absolutely the worst shit you could possibly put in your body.
It's always disappointing to me. Every once in a while it hits.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot, it's just disappointing, and then you have a ton of leftovers and you spent all this money,
I know.
and then you throw it out.
I know. It's almost like fucking... It's like,
but it doesn't matter.
To get a bag of Coke, you're like, oh, this seems like a great idea right now, and then the couple days later, you feel like
every couple months, you're like,
not that I know what that's like.
Feel like Chinese food.
I imagine.
You've heard.
Yeah, I've heard through the grapevine. Yeah, I just, dude. Sometimes I'm just like, oh yeah, we're doing this, and I agree with you. Most times it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
But when it hits, it hits so hard.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm kind of losing? I've lost my taste for is like is fast food. Not because of this diet. I just know, like, as you get older, obviously, the system gets more sensitive to shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And, like, I just know how bad it's going to make me feel. Like, I'd just much rather make a burger by myself.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Somebody's gonna Ben Affleck me and give a picture of me at Wendy's fucking with a Dave's double some night. But yeah, and here's the things for Chinese food to hit correctly. See, I actually don't. I think it's better when you're not hungover. If I'm being honest, it is like you got to be hungry. Like, and if you're hungry to get Chinese food, it can be really good.
Yep.
And the Chinese food is good.
Yeah. So that's another thing.
It costs like $1 jillion.
Do you have like you always go to Kowloon, or do you have a place that you go to in Melrose?
We go to this place, Dumpling Guy, up the street. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But like
growing up in Somerville, we had two really good places that are both gone now, and I'm out of Somerville, obviously.
Yeah.
So we had to try to find a place up here, and there's one, the Mandarin, that's good, but it's only really good if you go there.
Yeah.
So if you get takeout, by the time you bring it home, it's like, it's okay.
Sure.
And then I don't care what Danny says a million times, I reheat my Chinese food,
Yeah.
and it sucks all the time. Because I don't want to eat cold Chinese food.
Yeah.
There's like, I mean...
See, I can't even, after I've eaten it once, I can't even reheat it because I feel so bad about myself.
Yeah, maybe lo mein, I can eat like cold out of that box.
Yep.
But like cold chicken fingers are dry. The
They're
rice
gross.
sucks
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And you're not eating Peking raviolis cold or fucking...
I've done it.
yeah?
Yeah. It's gross, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not good. I'll be honest with you. I think, that's the answer that is not really my answer. My real answer is beef. My real answer is beef.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I actually think out of all the things you could get that are fucking, like, I'm going to have a fucking little something here.
Beef's not
probably
terrible.
the fucking best one out of them for you
know?
because there's a lot of protein in there. It's not
If you get rid of the mayo, because mayo's like oil or whatever, fat, pure fat and oil. The James River is just, it's a lot of salt.
It's a lot of sugar.
Salt.
Yeah,
I don't
and
even
sugar.
think there's a ton
It
of
is.
sugar. Is there?
Yeah. I bought a ball of it. I'm like, ooh,
that's been
stuff's
getting
not
me
great for you. By the way, I'm going to smoke a chuck roast this weekend.
Really? Have you
Yeah,
ever
it's
done
like
that?
poor man's best brisket.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never done it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it this weekend. I'll give you the results.
All right.
Tommy wanted like something like that. Trying to fucking keep him from losing like 100 pounds like he did last year during the season. Yeah, that's what mine would be. I don't think I've ever had, I don't know of a good place to get jerk chicken.
Me neither.
You know?
Yep.
Like, I wouldn't even know where the fuck to get that. Joey Boats does, though.
Yeah.
The fucking man is like,
So in the city, you can get it. He's in Quincy, right?
yeah.
There's a Haitian place in Somerville that probably has some type of jerk chicken.
Yep. Also, by the way, we have a couple hoodies left. I got like a couple other things, Corker ones. So if somebody wants something, there was a guy, Steve, who reached out to me. He's like, I'm a Corker, but I haven't really posted anything. I'm looking for a 3X. I'm like, I got it. Or I think it's 2X, maybe. I can't remember. And then I didn't hear back from him. So if he still wants it, we have it.
I should be in a small any day now.
You fucking keep going the way you're wasting away. You know what I mean? Like, you're wasting away. Nate threw a fucking cheap shot at me on that post that you put up, and I was like, looking for this, I'm wasting away, and Nate was like, wasting away, ha ha ha.
Did he?
Yeah, fucking, thanks a lot, bro.
I didn't even see it.
Thanks. Family matters, you know?
That's fucking funny.
So, yeah. So, anyways, but going back to NFL, me and Tommy talking about, let's talk about a little food. First of all, that is a weak point of mine, is like, NFL season, somebody's like, hey, come over watch the Pats. It's like, well, we know what we're doing here.
Yeah, he's staying all day.
We're going to drink a ton of beers.
Pats are on at 1.
We're going to fucking get some pizzas or whatever.
Yeah.
So what are your favorite, like, football foods?
I got a fucking...
You got a list?
I got a list. I fucking love food. Obviously, buffalo wings. I said...
That was Tommy's number one.
Is it?
Yeah,
I
wings.
said meatballs and sausage and sauce, right? And,
Yep.
and when I'm talking that, right, we won't even do pasta. Melissa will make like 2 pounds of meatballs with fucking
bread.
sausage. Yeah, we'll do bread. Either rolls or even, I don't even care. I'll do it in a wrap. One of those fucking carb balance
Yep.
wraps. I love those fucking things. Chili. Crockpot season, football season is crockpot season for me.
Yeah.
So anything that you can make in the crock pot, I'll eat. And then you have leftovers of that shit.
Yeah.
You do a whole crock pot of chili.
Yeah.
You're eating that all week.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
The only,
Chili's not horrible for you.
It's not. But then historically what I do,
Put cheese on it.
cheese, sour cream, and scoop it with fucking Tostitos. Or Ritz.
I got
A
on.
sleeve of Ritz, dude.
I don't know
That's
if I've ever
terrible
done it
for
with
you.
Ritz.
It's fucking delicious. Don't try it. Honestly, don't even fucking try it. Because it's going to ruin you. What's a sleeve of Ritz for calories?
I don't know. It's
7,000.
got to be a lot. Dude, you don't realize until you look at that shit and I fucking
No
like,
shit.
Going back, but like I was looking at like my sweet tooth that I have, like when I want like a candy is like if I go to the movies with the kids, is I would get gummy bears.
Yeah.
And like I looked at a package one time and I was like, holy shit, there's 1,000 calories in this fucking bag that I just house. You know what I
Crushed
mean?
the whole bag.
Absolutely fucking
And then
house.
you got the sugar-free ones and paid.
Oh, that was fucking still fucking have PTSD from that experience. Won't be doing that again.
Sides are tough because everything is awesome for sides for football season. Buffalo chicken dip, potato skins,
Buffalo chicken dip
nachos.
is fucking jam.
It's all fucking great. And it's so hard.
So I made tacos, right?
Yeah.
And I use those carb wrap things.
Yep.
Tommy likes the way he does it is like he makes nachos with like puts queso all over it,
Yep.
the ground beef, and then the cheese.
Yeah.
And then he houses like a whole fucking tray of it.
Hell yeah.
Now, like, he's a fucking 16-year-old kid playing football
I
for
know.
fucking 3 hours a day. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he can do it. Yeah, I'm not a big nacho guy, if I'm being honest. You got to eat them hot. They don't carry well.
No.
You know what I mean?
They get soggy.
They get soggy. Are you an ice cream guy?
No, I'm not a huge sweets
guy?
guy. You
No,
know,
salt.
every once, yes, savory, fucking fat foods.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I do get a craving for something sweet.
Yeah.
And one thing that even before I was in a text thread with Brian, he was like, save a chocolate protein bar, and just take a bite out of it. So you're eating like a quarter of a protein bar.
Yeah.
It gives you the chocolate fix, the sweet fix, and you're actually getting some protein in your diet. So
Yeah.
I've been doing that for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
Because I saw a post on Instagram.
Yeah, I've been, so, I mean,
That being said, I have a whole list of desserts that I would fucking
let's
crush.
go.
Cheesecake's my number one, always. I love
Bob C
cheesecake.
just got fucking bricked up.
I fucking love cheesecake. Apple pie, apple crisp, speaking of fucking fall.
Yep.
It's going to be foliage season right around the corner.
100%.
Apple picking, pumpkin picking. Brownies, obviously cookies, any type of cookie. I love fucking peanut butter cookies. Reese's. Oh, I was going to say this. Reese's, you know how they do the seasonal things?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they should make footballs.
I know.
I don't know
They
why.
don't?
I don't know if they do, but they have the pumpkins. So, I mean, you got pumpkins during that
Tommy's
season
got a bag of
anyways.
those pumpkins in there right now.
Does he?
Putting,
Oh,
fucking
man.
putting to death.
I might go fucking raid his room. I love Reese's. Obviously, I drafted Reese's number one in that draft.
I like, for me, there's nothing better than like Super Bowl Sunday when you're just laying out the spread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm the same as you. I like salt. I like, fucking. That's why I've never been a big pizza guy, because like pizza fills you up. Like, I like pizza. It's good. You know what I mean? It's just not my fucking. Like, I would never be like, oh, it's my night to like, I'm gonna fucking do something. I'm gonna get a pizza. Like, I'd be like, I'm like, all right, I had 2 slices of pizza. Like, sweet. I get it, dude. Some people fucking love it. I got a buddy actually, my friend Mike Taggart. I was on a bunch of bands with him. He was the biggest pizza dude you've ever seen in your life. Like that, he lived off pizza. His life is about pizza. And then he had like this dude. I've talked about before. He's a bartender by trade, and he's like looks like he should be in like Oasis, and great guy. And he was telling me, he's like, dude, I started getting this like little alopecia shit in the back of my hair was like. I'm like, went to the doctor, and they were like, listen, like it's probably dietary, because he always had wicked indigestion shit. So he cut out. He basically went like gluten free, cut out all dairy. And he's like, I just feel great. And he's like, and it sucks because he goes, pizza was my fucking number one, but he's like, it fucking kills me. So, I like wings. I'm a wings guy.
Yep.
Got to be done the right way, but I'm a fucking huge wings guy. I told Tommy to fire up the Vortex this weekend and make him some wings. I mean, they're not going to be Paul Doobie wings, but they're going to be they're going to be wings nonetheless. So I like that stuff more. Like, I like barbecue. I love smoke and chip Because it gives you something to do all day.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm doing a pork shoulder. It's like I got my fucking day set up right now.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I got that. Those are all on my list. The armadillo eggs that I make,
Oh, yeah.
the ribs, pulled pork, brisket, all that.
We got a rack of ribs this weekend, too.
Yeah. Can't go wrong.
No. I mean, I'm going to smoke a bunch of shit this weekend. I usually give most of it out. Like, I'll bring it by my parents and shit.
Yeah, I do too.
Because Maggie eats it a little bit, but not really. Tommy eats it.
Yeah.
Addie's like, whatever. Yeah. Anyways.
So, are you an ice cream guy?
I mean, I'm not going to turn down an ice cream. I don't, it's not my, like, there's a place up on the Parkway there, Socks, Melrose place. Melrose Saugus line, kind of.
Yeah.
They have, that's the one place if I'm like, I want an ice cream, that's where I go.
Yeah.
So, like, they go, like, Mags will go up there for Tommy and Addie, like, pretty much most Sundays and get them an ice cream.
Yeah.
And, like, I usually will turn it down. But every once in a while, I'm like, all right, yeah, I can go for a fucking ice cream today.
I
You know what
try
mean?
to turn it down because we got a bunch of decent places. There's a Kennedy's,
Yeah.
place Kennedy's right
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
But then we got that place Cal's right up the street from my house. And that's, you ever heard of Meltobs in Wakefield?
Oh, yeah.
That's like their family, but there was like a falling out. So they just took all the recipes and opened up Cal's.
Restaurants are always doing that shit, dude.
Yeah, so
they kicking along.
The Wakefield one is still open, and then this part of the family just branched off and took all the recipes, and so it's like the same type of ice cream,
Yeah.
and it's fucking bomb.
It cracks me up that happens all the time. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm taking the ice cream.
it all. Like fucking,
I'll take that fucking mocha fucking chip across the street.
it's like Elaine when the soup Nazi was being mean to her.
Yeah.
She's like, chop puccini mushrooms. He's like, that's my recipe for wild mushroom. Yeah, no soup for you. Where do you fall on spinach artichoke dip?
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is? I actually prefer using like celery or something like that for those
that?
dips. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think that, like, I don't know, like, I'm not a chip guy. So I'm not a snack guy.
Yeah.
Like, I never have been. Like, I'm not like a grab a bag of chips and sit down in front of it. That does nothing for me.
See, I like crackers with that.
You are an old soul.
Dude, wheat thins with spinach artichoke.
Yeah.
It's fucking bomb.
I'm not a crackers guy. I'm not a cheese and crackers guy. Like, I'd rather have just like salami and cheese or something like that.
Yeah.
Like antipasto. I mean, like, Italian sub is like my fucking ultimate. Like, that's my like.
Yeah.
And it's just like you get the next day you can't get your wedding ring off. Like your fingers are
Oh, yeah, because
swollen.
of the salt.
Yeah, there's so much fucking salt in your system. So like that's really what I like. Like I love like an antipasto. Like I can just shove fucking.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was like, I'm gonna do keto, and I was just eating like mortadella for like 3 days, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I think I just gained 15 pounds. I was like, I'll just have these Mellow Lights with it too. That's keto, right?
You know what I've been missing? A nice jar of Jickles.
Ooh, yeah. We haven't had Jickles in a while.
I know.
Have to fucking get on with the man.
Yeah.
See what's going on. I haven't seen the kid in fucking like
It's fucking Jickle season.
a month. Like this always happens with me and Josh in the summers. Like he goes away a different week than I go away.
yeah.
And then he was coaching softball all summer, so I've seen him a little bit, but like we haven't gotten down and fucking partied a little bit. I think he probably is going away this weekend, is my guess. They have a couple friends that have lake houses. So I'm guessing he might not be around, but football season we usually do a fair amount of
Yeah, get them cooking the Jickles.
yeah. You live and you learn, as he said, you know.
Yeah.
You live and you learn. Yeah, we got to get him cooking the Jickles for sure. American Benchcraft, by the way. Speaking of belts, speaking of fucking belts that are shrinking, let me tell you what I've been using a lot. My fucking little field notes journal.
Yeah.
Dude, I take it with me everywhere, and I have 3 different inserts. One's for work, one's for ideas for here. So I just swap them out.
Yep.
I love the fucking thing, dude.
Yeah.
Because you know what's good for me is that, you know how people are like, oh, I just put my notes on my phone? For work, I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
So I can't do that.
Yep.
So like, especially like I take like the other night, last night there was a scrimmage and I was on the phone for like half the fucking thing. And like I have that in my back pocket. It fits in my back pocket with a pen. And I can just pull it out and fucking write notes. You know what I mean? AmericanBenchcraft.com. Use the code CORKER, capital CORKER, and you will get 10% off your order. 20% off, sorry.
Yeah.
Get a belt.
Yeah.
Do something with your fucking life.
Yeah.
You know, for once.
I can't say enough about those belts.
Oh, they're the fucking best. Misguided Spirits. Yes, I am over 21 years old, Misguided Spirits.
Big Bad James.
I'm way over it. Big Bad James, the man, the myth, the legend. Follow Pope of the party.
Yep.
He
On
is
Instagram.
Yep, misguidedspirits.com. They have an Instagram there too. You can order their merch. It's supposed to send me that sign. I haven't seen that sign yet. I gotta get figuratively on his ass. Merch. You can get their shirts and all that shit. I gotta talk to him. We gotta get back on fucking find out how we can support the brand. I got a little plan for a video I'm gonna make this week for Misguided. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. Misguidedspirits.com. You can order their stuff. They'll ship it right to your house.
Yep.
It's great. Hinky Dink whiskey, Crooked vodka, Red Sky rum. Sitting right up there. Bottles look fucking great. Yeah, it's amazing shit. Yeah, what would you drink a choice if you just beers?
Yeah. Always just beers. I haven't had beer in a week and a half.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it sucks.
I love fucking dude. And you know what it is? I grew up in a house where like my dad is not he definitely is way more of a moderate drinker than I am.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. But like he would get home from like he reffed hoops and like he'd like come home with a crack cold beer and I'd be like, oh that looks great. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what is going on in that can. But that looks like a real reward.
I had 1 Miller Lite Monday night because Connor had his first practice. Right after the practice, there was like a meet and greet with all the coaches and parents
Yep.
and all the kids running around. So they had pizza and shit. And one of the dads, he was like, I got beers. You want a beer? And what am I supposed to say? Fucking no. You know what I mean?
Yeah. More diet.
So I had one beer, 1 Miller Lite, which you know me.
Yeah.
I never have just one beer.
No.
But I did. I had one beer, and like 30 minutes later, went home and went for like a 2-mile walk. With
Not
the
all
family.
heroes wear capes, as they say. You know what I mean? By the way, we got a big announcement. So we
Yeah.
aren't doing the Halloween party. That's a bummer.
Correct.
But we got something in the works.
Yeah, we got something.
We'll just say it. We'll
Yep.
figure out the details. We're going to do an ugly sweater party.
Yep.
Now, Danny does one traditionally, so we'll figure out what we want to do with it. But we're going to do one for pulling the cork.
Yes.
And we'll have tunes. We'll have some food there. And it'll be a fucking great way to spread Christmas cheer.
Yep.
And even if you are non-denominational or Jewish, you are not invited. No, just kidding. You can come.
Wear an ugly
Wear
sweater.
an ugly sweater. Wear a Hanukkah ugly sweater.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with Santa.
Exactly. Yeah.
Santa brings the undies, Chiefy.
Guys, listen. The guy's been doing it for years. It is kind of fraud that you get like fucked over. Like when the kids are real little, they're like, "Oh yeah, well Santa brought this to me." It's like, motherfucker, like,
Yeah.
I'm light about $3,000 right now.
They'll
Like,
know in the long run though, and they'll appreciate you.
dude, as your kids get older, you'll see like they just become way more hard to buy for because it's
Yeah.
like, you know, like they just don't want like regular shit anymore. Like, you know what I mean? When they're kids,
Yeah.
it's like your house is just filled with like toys
Yeah.
that you throw out
Yeah.
or give away.
Now
and
they
then-
want like $1,000 presents.
or like a fucking gaming PC or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oculus.
Tommy actually has been playing many games. He's just been on the wire.
Summer's tough for gaming. No one wants to be inside fucking
Yeah.
grinding on
Yeah,
video
and you're a
games.
gamer.
I'm a gamer.
Yeah.
And now there's a couple new games coming out that look interesting, and once it starts getting dark, what else am I going to do? Sit in the house and fucking watch football?
That's when last year I played a lot of Fortnite.
Yeah.
I like playing video games. I'm very careful with it because I'm like, I like know it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And I understand it's a fucking relaxing thing to do, and it's
Fucking the game I play is not relaxing. I get stressed the fuck out playing it.
do you the
Yeah,
Call
Call
of
of
Duty?
Duty.
Yeah.
Break controllers and shit.
Yeah, but anyways, I try to stay away from things that I think are. Well, I say that. Then, by the way, I should have. When I said that other week, when I was like, I know what works for me. I wish I could stuff those words back in my fat face. That was not correct. By the way, producer sent me a text at like midnight the other night and says me what like it was like 3 a.m. his time. I'm like, this kid's a vampire. Like,
Yeah.
it's a jacked vampire. That's what he is. Apparently he's a day walker though, according to his Instagram. So I'm a beer guy too by trade. I've been trying to stay off of the craft beers. Had a couple last weekend, but those things are fucking.
Oh yeah, what am I talking about? I had fucking
Yeah, you had a couple
3 craft beers. I'm like, this sucks. I can't even drink beers.
crushing fucking.
I've had fucking
finally something cool
4 in the last week.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to moderate it a little bit. I gave you a 4-pack, and I got a 4-pack for the Labor Day
Yep.
weekend. So I'll probably have one of those a day. And I love them. I mean, I know that like fucking some people just don't care for them, so it's like that's an easy.
I like them too.
Yeah.
People are like, they taste bitter and they suck. I think they taste good.
Yeah, you're bitter and you suck.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like them apples. So I'm not the biggest. I'm not a big vodka guy, if I'm being honest. It gives me like a weird drunk kind of like. It gives me not like a mean or anything like that. Just like a kind of like melancholy, like drunk. Like I can't
Really?
explain it. Like it just doesn't really fucking do anything more. I love red wine. I can
Really?
I fucking love red wine buzz is
The
like
hangover
woo.
sucks though.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
That's what I don't like.
I don't give
So
a fuck.
With
The
vodka,
ride is worth it. The high.
So with vodka, so what I've been doing is I'll do like a Irish car bomb.
Yep.
Just to start the night, just to kick things up. And then I'll switch to vodka and seltzer, right? Or soda. It's polar soda, so there's nothing in it. It's bland as fuck. But I'll tell you what, drinking those throughout the night keeps you like hydrated.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're not like
It's almost like you're exercising.
yeah. But no, it's like you don't get like you know how by like your 15th beer.
Let's get real.
By your 15th beer, you're just like this. Right? If you drink 15 vodka sodas, you don't get
I've actually seen you look exactly like
yeah,
that.
you don't get at the Halloween party. That's why we're really not doing it. But if you drink 15 of those, you're like up. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because you're hydrating. You're not like lethargic and
Yeah.
fucking cobbed out and
Yeah.
in like this coma.
Yeah,
from-
I'm
from
not
the
a big like
beers.
I'm a misguided cocktails guy. Let me just say that right now. And I like I mean obviously the fucking bottles didn't empty themselves in here. But like I'm not a big like I'm gonna make a like on Easter I'll drink like cranberry vodka or something like that.
Yeah.
I like doing it then, but like I'm not a big like that's gonna be my mainstay. I'm much more of like a fucking Miller Lite guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
of course.
I love Miller Lites. I fucking love them. I really have a real fond relationship with them. I find them to be a good friend in a time of need.
So I'm trying to figure it out because vodka has 90 calories per shot.
Yeah,
right?
it's just, dude, I don't think it's much of a difference.
It is though, because you have now, if I switch back to Corona Premiers, they're 90 calories still, but also 92 grams of carbs. So there's no carbs.
No, there's fucking like 1 gram of carbs in a Corona Premier.
No.
Yes. There's
Oh,
3
yeah,
grams. There's 3 grams in a Miller Lite.
2.6. Yeah,
Yeah, it's 3
you're right,
grams in a
yeah.
Miller Lite. I don't think that's gonna make any difference.
Yeah.
Wolf them down.
I'm gonna
You know,
this weekend.
fucking Fitzy's just pouring Miller Lights all over his face out in this kayak.
The kayak has a like dry storage.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about making that a cooler.
I think it's a great
now
idea.
it's wet, cold storage.
I love it. Yeah. There's nothing like there's very and I will say this, like the less you this is very true. The less you are, kind of habitually drinking, the more enjoyable it is when you do.
Yeah.
Like last week I didn't have a single drink all week, and then like Friday afternoon when we went out to dinner and I had my first Miller Lite, I was like, ooh boy, where have you been all my life?
There she is.
There she is. Playing Keno like a fucking piece of shit. You know what I mean? Just like real fucking piece of shit stuff, But yeah, I mean, my father hates light beer, my old man.
Yeah.
Not a
What
light
does he
beer
drink?
guy. Typically, he drinks like, he'll drink a Yingling, but his go-to is usually like, he'll have like a Sierra Nevada, a West Coast style IPA.
Yeah.
He likes those a lot. But he's like a, 3 and out type of guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think I've seen my dad drunk like twice in my life.
Yeah. My father wasn't a big drinker.
Yeah. I mean, usually it ended with him hitting me with a belt, but no, I'm just fucking around. Tom Ryan's a great man. So I'm not a big cocktails guy. That always gets me in trouble. Like I have 1 or 2. I like 1 or 2 cocktails, but like if I start,
Crushing
because the
them.
problem is I drink them with the same speed I'm drinking Miller Lite.
Yeah. So vodka I can do because it doesn't have like all that sugar in it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the darker alcohols, bourbon, whiskey, rum,
Yep.
spiced rum, those fuck me up. I don't know what it is. I think it's the sugar because it dehydrates you faster and gets you fucked up. And
Yep.
that's when I have
I like how this
bad
started as a
nights.
show about football, but it's just become a show about booze.
Booze and food.
Booze and food, yeah. Yeah, but I am a red wine guy. I love red wine in the winter. Love it. It's fucking
I've never really got into wine. Melissa drinks wine, and
I'm
every
not
once in a while, I'll have a couple glasses, and I like it, and it makes me feel great.
Yeah.
But then the hangover can be rough.
Yeah. Well,
Really
I'm not a sommelier by any stretch of the imagination, but
Yeah.
I did this kind of diet once, which is called what's it called?
Charcuterie wine diet.
Charcuterie wine diet / Chinese food diet.
It worked out great. I know what works for me.
Yeah, I do. I know what works for me. Brendan Hearn knows what works for him.
Salt,
The opposite of what he does.
salt and crushed grapes.
No, but basically what it was it's the guy Tim Ferriss. It's called like I forget what the name of the diet is, but basically what it is for every day you're supposed to have 20 grams of protein just when you get up. So it's like a few eggs or whatever it is. And then you can eat beans, lean proteins, and that's pretty much it. No dairy. And you can have 2 glasses of wine a night, which is what got me into it. And then one day a week, he's like, just pull the cover off it. He's like, eat a good, healthy breakfast, and then just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That worked for me because I'm a man of excess. But, like Panuzzo says, like one real glass of wine is not what I think a glass of wine is. You know what I mean? But yeah, I hate white wine. Fucking hate it.
Yeah, I can't even remember
Stinks.
if I've ever tried white
Stinks.
wine. I think maybe I have and I didn't like it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not for me. Some people tend to love it, but I'm not the biggest fan. But wine's obviously a lot better for you than some other things you could have. So,
Yeah.
proceed with caution. I am a big fan of that throwing a little Baileys in a fucking Guinness and pounding it down.
Yeah.
That's a fucking great move.
I put whiskey in that too.
I know. But you feel great after you do it.
And I've been using Hanky Dink. I'm almost out of my last bottle of Hanky
We
Dink.
got to talk to James.
And I've been using Bailey's, Hanky Dink, and a Guinness.
Oh, here we go. Special guest.
We got a special guest coming in.
Without further ado.
Oh.
All right.
All decked
By
out.
the way, he has been on before. You've been on Patreon.
Yeah, I was on one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got.
A little shout out.
Look
to
at
you
that!
guys.
Finally,
Nice,
something
finally
cool.
something cool.
Now, when you're jacked like Nate, you can drink
Yeah.
finally something cool.
I might pass out after this. Though.
Well, that's all right. Me and Fitzy are on the
Get right in
diet
there.
stuff.
Get up in there.
Get up in there.
right in there.
Yeah.
You want to be sounding.
We
like
have
on the other side
my
of the
brother-in-law Nate, because he is a ex-football player, football coach. He's decked out in Melrose football gear right now.
room. Right from the field.
Right from the field.
Coaching the
Coaching the youth.
the youth.
How many hours on the turf today?
total?
Yeah. 6, 7.
Huh. Let's see, 3 to right now.
Now, as I told Tommy the other day, you have one man to thank for your love of the game of football. Uncle Nate. Nobody thought Tommy was going to do anything except draw cartoons for his whole life and eat fucking Cheez-Its. Nate was like, we're getting you on that field. We're getting you on that field. And look at him now.
Yeah, look at him now.
He's all in.
Oh, he is.
I don't think there's another kid who was as in as he is.
He is all fucking in. He is all business. All he gives a shit about is eating and playing football. That's all he gives a fuck about. Probably a couple other things that I don't want to. I don't want to dox him on right now.
You know, he's just a kid.
How's the team looking?
We're up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah. This last scrimmage wasn't as good as it should have been, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
It's hot, you know.
We should also litigate this now while you're here. Get your side of the story
Uh-oh. What do we got?
on the
what
famous.
Am I walking
on
into?
the famous hiking.
Hiking.
On the
Oh,
famous
Jesus.
hiking story.
Listen, it is what it is. Right? I'm not going to try and make excuses, you know.
Well, listen. I mean, I'm glad I did it. It gave us great content for the show,
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm here for.
which is a bonus.
And I did tell you, you'd feel a little sense of accomplishment after it. Maybe not right after it, but down the road.
It's been a slow burn.
You know, just because your knees were hurting for a few weeks. You know, you got over it.
Everything was hurting for a few weeks. You've done how many of the peaks?
Oh, I'm not one of those nerds who like says,
No,
I
but
did
you-
28 of that. No,
Yeah.
I've done the highest ones.
Yeah. Mount
Probably
Washington.
Washington, Jefferson, Adams, Madison.
Which was the hardest one you did?
It's a weighted question because I did Washington when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
But I was in better shape when I did that too. So that was pretty hard. Adams was pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't
Great beginner trail.
That's the one you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty tough.
Jesus.
Yeah. I was not. By the way, when he's like, I was in good shape when I did that, I was not in good shape when I did fucking Adams. But we lived to tell the tale.
We did.
We had some. Had some beers afterwards and hiked out of those woods the next day. And by the way, it's nothing like waking up to a 3-mile
bears.
hike with a 30-pound pack on your back.
You didn't do any bears at the
No.
peak.
That little
Fucking, there was no peak
There was
beers.
no peak.
The
That
place
little-
was. You could have kept it cold up there though.
The shack was closed.
Oh,
No peak.
that was like the false
I don't even
let's
think
get
you
to
can.
the peak.
I don't even think you can put that on your resume.
Peak?
Yeah.
No, I can't. Hut. I made it to the hut.
I made it to the hut. Yeah.
Star Lake. That's what that place is called up there, right?
Star Lake, yes.
Yeah, that thing at the top. It's just on my list of places I never want to visit again.
Well,
done.
your response to that, we gotta hit the peak was just classic, Mo. Nope, not happening.
No.
no.
Tommy didn't go either,
Absolutely
right?
not.
No,
Tommy was already walking the other way. He was like,
We're done.
shaking
What
his
did?
head.
done
But
here.
even you said when you got to that peak, it was not a safe area.
No, God. If your sister had saw the conditions up there, I'd be
Had
out of the house.
Had my nephew, his son,
I'd
with
be out
him,
of the house.
who's in 5th grade at the time.
He was 5th grade, yeah.
Yeah. Well, pays to do something hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
pays to do
he's
something hard.
got a story to tell when he gets older. You know?
So you played some football in college.
I did.
Where'd you
A
go?
little bit. Fairfield. Fairfield U.
I was confused.
The
That was
defunct Fairfield
Stags?
football Stags program. Yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Hall of Fame, 1998.
There we go.
Yeah.
See?
MAC champs.
Look at that.
Yeah.
No bullshit here. All right. Real deal
No
shit.
shit.
What position?
I bounced around a little bit in the secondary. I started off as a corner.
Yeah.
Played that freshman year. I got hurt my sophomore year in camp, so I played outside. Actually played outside linebacker that year, like a will linebacker. And then the year after that, I was a safety. My junior year, probably my best year, and senior year, back to corner.
Any picks?
7 total.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
2 pick six.
White corner.
Like,
Oh,
to, like
you know
to
what
show,
I mean?
yeah. Like
2
to show
pick
that
sixes?
grainy thing on YouTube to Mike. So that's me right there. Look at that. Look at that cut. You can't really see it because it's all fuzz, but
Nate's bar, which I think has been on my Instagram several times. The other side of what you can't see is there's a weight room /
Mecca.
mecca
Yeah.
of football.
Which I got to preface it by saying I didn't do that. It's
That's
not like
your
my
dad's doing.
shrine. That's my
Yeah.
dad's
So
doing.
Nate's dad, longtime football coach.
More well known than me down there.
Yes. He is famous in Melrose for having a vanity plate. Football is the vanity plate. Used to be, they used to have like this big like space van, like one of those like old school set, like
Yeah,
type vans. They drove around forever. He's now the weight room manager, right?
Yep. He's back at it.
He's back at it.
25 years later or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
And he's
Loving life.
Runs the music, make sure the music is correct, and also likes to point out when people don't make it to the weight room. Luckily for Tommy,
He's
that's
a
not
little
usually it.
He's got a little.
always
wondered where I got my little shaming.
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
sarcasm with the.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely Bink.
Oh yeah,
you know, he's
yeah,
Bink.
yeah.
I might take it a little bit further than he does. But,
Yeah,
you know,
Nate's dad is
He's nicer than I am.
also famous for setting the weight room bench press record when he was like 43.
Really?
Yeah, he's a beast of a man. Yeah, absolute
he's-
fucking beast.
I like to say, you know, he had shorter arms than me though.
Well, people don't say that. I mean, I think it makes sense. It's hard to get that weight all the way up if you're.
No, it's still 50 pounds more, but I'll give you that, you old man.
What was his? What was
He's
his
not
number?
listening,
What was his
so.
bench number?
455.
455.
Jesus, dude.
What a fucking beast! Jesus
wild.
Christ,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's fucking insane. Yeah, they got a good little crew of guys though. They love the team. They love being there. Tommy was like, I was like, Nate might come on the show tonight, and he's like, what are we gonna talk about? I'm like, football, and gonna analyze your everything you do. And he's
technique?
like, yeah, he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, obviously not. That would be a boring show.
So, hand to God, I was watching film and didn't know who was playing D end. You know, the twos were in or whatever, and I'm watching it and going through. and I see the D end, come on one of our. We got an in stunt or whatever. So he jumps the gap, and then he scrapes down, makes the tackle. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. I see the number turn. I'm like, 60. Huh, that's Tommy. I'm like, that's Tommy. All right, making a play.
Yeah. Fucking make the most of your opportunities when you get in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was telling Fitzy earlier in the show, but repeat myself, but the kid he has to go against, the kid who's the captain there.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, that kid's big.
He's a
like,
big dude.
He's like, if I get 1 out of 5 on like that is just decent. It's like a fucking big win,
Yeah, he's the best. He's our best lineman.
And we got and Will got some time, right? My nephew, your son.
Yep, played
Center?
a little center, little DN too.
Will is the oldest soul that is in a 16-year-old boy's body, turning 16. The kid loves antiquing. He loves
Really?
Loves antiquing.
Loves the Republican Party.
I knew that.
Loves history. A history maniac.
Yep.
If every class was history, he'd probably be like a Rhodes Scholar.
Oh yeah, he'd be going to friggin' MIT.
Yeah.
What about muscle Christianity?
Yeah, I don't know. That could be for him. He'd be a good muscle Christianity.
Sounds
guy.
right up his alley.
Yeah, he's got the loosest jeans. He's
What
jacked.
do we got here? What is this?
We're
WNBA?
watching the
Caitlin Clark.
watching Caitlin Clark.
Okay.
We got a little WNBA. This is we
All right.
love the women, as we said.
Yeah.
We love the
Yeah.
women corkers and the women basketball
Listen,
players in America.
it's riveting.
I want to thread with all my old college buddies, about 40 guys, and there was more talk about women's basketball this past year than there was any other sport because Fairfield was actually good. And
really?
And they made the NCAA tournament.
Did
were
they?
31-1 or something.
Wow. Holy shit.
And they got hosed on their seed, so they had to play someone real good in the first round. They lost. I think it was Indiana.
We'll have to,
But that was the big deal.
to lock into that this year. So have you been, the question was asked earlier on the show, best game you've been to?
Ooh, best game. Like
You've been to some good Pats games.
Any level, like
Yeah.
pro.
Sure.
Best game. I would have to say it was. Oh, that's a tough one. I was at the snow game
Yep.
in 04 with Teddy Bruschi doing
Snowball?
the snow against Miami.
Yep.
That was a good one. But I'd have to say the best one was the divisional game against Tennessee that same year.
Was that the
ju-
one
It
with
was
snow
just
too?
a friggin' war. It was shitty out.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like, it was kind of spitting snow, but it was
Yeah.
freezing.
Yeah.
It was freezing. We were up on the nosebleeds, and we went with a bunch of guys, and we were just wrecked. And one of no, actually, I'm blending my stories. That was the snow game.
Yeah.
And Mike Merrick was sliding down the where you walk up. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was completely iced over. Sliding down, slamming into the gate thing where literally, if you went through it, you're going over the edge. And I'm like, whoa, all right, this is a good time till someone dies and goes over the edge.
Yeah, fucking intense. Yes, you've been to a lot of games, obviously.
Yeah.
Played in a lot of games.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a question, Nate, as a coach. What makes up the best football players at the youth level?
What makes the best football players?
Like what's the...
At that level, it's just pure athleticism.
Yeah.
And, I mean, toughness too, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's just natural ability
Yeah.
because you really don't know what you're doing yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Takes a few years at least to.
Did you
can-
watch Receiver on Netflix?
I did not. No.
So that came out. They followed a bunch of the top wide receivers, and
The recruits, or is it guys that are out? Oh,
No,
the
it's
NFL.
NFL.
Okay.
it was George Kittle,
Yep.
tight end, Debo, Samuel, Justin Jefferson, Devontae
that
Adams,
sounds like it.
and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yep.
So it followed all of them last season, the 23-24 season.
That's pretty sweet.
It was fucking unbelievable.
Was it?
And you can just see how George Kittle is like cooked.
Yeah. Oh, he's
Like,
tapped. He's tapioca
He gets
big time.
hurt or hit hard, and he's just like, loves it.
Yeah. He's
So I
all
mean,
about
I feel
it.
like the best players, obviously, maybe not in like the youth leagues and stuff, but the people who end up being the best players, there's a screw loose.
Oh, absolutely.
No, LT.
That's what I mean.
I mean,
Absolutely.
the LT video said the stranglehold by Ted Nugent is the best football compilation video on the internet. I'm convinced of it.
That guy was just a freak.
Just
There's no way around
He wouldn't
that.
even be playing in the league this
No.
time. Like he would have been
Now?
kicked out of the league like 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He
Absolutely.
wouldn't have made it. By the way, somebody also was asking me off show if Josh, and you know Josh very well,
Yes.
is Josh really like he is like when he comes to the show?
100%.
He's a fucking maniac.
100%.
Yeah.
He's actually
That-
worse.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah, he is worse. Yeah, yeah. Well, better depending on how you look at those
Right.
things.
This is a little bit of like a filter.
This is
for
a
him,
glimpse.
you know?
Yeah, yeah. This is a glimpse of the mind of a really strange man.
I'm skeptical on whether or not we're going to get him back.
Oh, we'll get him back.
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Josh doesn't
Courtney
listen-
probably puts him on probation for a few weeks. or
Josh
whatever.
only rules on. He wasn't meant to follow them.
Yeah.
He's been breaking them his entire life. So
I got a Courtney type warning when I went out to do it. Don't say anything stupid.
but have her on. Start telling. If she keeps giving people shit, I'm gonna start telling her stories. on him. Yeah. So, did you guys ever play anybody who played in the NFL?
I actually played against Christ. He played for the Pats for a little while. Christ, how am I forgetting his name already? He played for Duquesne. He was a corner and a kick returner. Lee Bawden.
Yeah.
Yeah, played
Sick.
against him. He was a sophomore, but when I was a senior, and he was good.
Yeah.
He was good. A couple other guys. Actually, another Duquesne kid played fullback for the Steelers for a little while. Cup of coffee, I like to say.
Yeah.
But he was a big dude.
Yeah,
Forget it.
it's amazing though how remember that what was that show with the junior college stuff? Last Chance U.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
was
yeah,
sick.
I
that
watched
was a
some of
great show.
That was a good show.
It's amazing how you see those dudes and some of those dudes were like fucking legit as fuck,
Yeah.
but like you can't get it together. It's like a whole nother
Dude,
problem.
That's 50% of it is buying in and doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Really is.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, dude, there's other guys that are talented.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
they might be a smidge slower, smidge smaller. If you can't get in the program, dude, you next man up.
Yeah. And then you obviously have guys like Bo Jackson or something who are just so fucking
Right. Well, it
By the
doesn't.
way,
Where
if
it
you-
doesn't matter. They're gonna find.
Yeah,
You know.
if you're out there and you're like, I was trying to find. I forget. I was cleaning up the basement when we were getting it done over, and I was like looking for something to listen to. I was like, I wonder what Bo Jackson's ever like been on a podcast, and he's on one podcast, but it's a hunting. I think I talked to this before, but it's a hunting podcast about like archery.
He's probably a nasty hunter
Because he,
too.
well, so his story, his
Like,
story
that
was
would just
like,
fall, like, right in
dude, this
line with
fucking thing is, this podcast is unbelievable. Kind of tells his whole life story. He tells the ridiculous shit, like that he killed a dog once, and he's like, yeah, I used to just throw rocks at this dog, and they're like, oh, like you were just an angry kid, and he's like, nah, I was just like bored.
Yeah.
Like I was like, whoa. But so he was at Auburn,
Dog is
and
pissing
there was
me
this
off.
dude. There was this dude who like the funny thing is they were asking him stuff like he thinks very differently like than most like did you feel like they were using you and he's like no, I use them for fucking education, they use me to run up and down the field, it's how it works, it's
Yeah.
fucking exchange of fucking goods.
Right.
But he had a kid who was a kicker, it was his roommate I think he said, and the kid used to go down and he'd fucking shoot his bow and he's like, can I just go with you? And the kid's like, yeah, and he's like within like a fucking week he's like, I was just fucking
Nasty.
dialed. He told a story where he was like obviously he was like the biggest phenom like around his area.
Yeah.
He was like 10. And there was a minor league baseball team in his town, like maybe like not even like AAA or something, but like a men's like competitive
Yeah,
team.
still good
This
baseball.
guy who was the catcher got in a fucking car accident. So they like asked him if he would play. I think he was 10.
10 years old.
And he's like, so he goes, I was there and these guys were all saying like, this is a little fucking shit and all this stuff. He goes, second play of the game, he's like, I threw a kid out from fucking behind the plate from my fucking knees. And he goes, nobody said shit after that.
They were like,
He's just
"Whoa,
like,
oh."
He's like, and he says it, he's like, I didn't work hard. He's like, I was, it's God given. He's like, I
Natural.
tell my kids, he's like, I just,
He was a fucking monster,
oh
too.
my God.
He was
Just
like
jacked.
225, 230, ran like a 4.1,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Insane.
For that
Truck
size.
boss.
It's so ridiculous.
Truck boss the
Yeah.
end zone that time.
Helmet right in his chest.
Nate, you're a big Sunday football and college football watcher.
I'm in everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not one of those like, this one sucks. This
yeah,
one's
yeah,
better.
yeah.
I
yeah.
like it all.
You like it all. Yeah.
like
So
it
you
all.
watch all day. We discussed top football foods. What's your what's on your list?
It's definitely buffalo wings is
There we
number
go.
one for me.
Yeah.
Number one. And I'm a big pizza guy too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't eat a lot of pizza on the regular, so it's like that goes along with football with me.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll tell you right now, and I know we're getting real inside Melrose baseball, but your best friend Sweeze came by and he brought Melrose House the other night. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
Had a
and
couple
actually,
slices.
I haven't had that pizza. I didn't even know it was still there, to be honest.
Yeah.
With you. And it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Solid.
I remember when Sweeze, Nate's buddy, he's a great kid, he was a great athlete, Melrose, awesome guy.
Future
He
Hall
was
of
like
Famer.
Future Hall of Famer.
Yeah, couple
for
weeks.
wrestling,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, dude.
Sick wrestler.
I'm nasty.
Yeah, the thing is, he hated wrestling.
Hated
He's
it.
like,
Hated it.
Oh, this,
fucking,
you
yeah.
talked about this.
Hated
before.
it.
He's like, I
Yeah.
fucking hated it. He's like, it sucks. He's
Yeah,
like,
you talked
rolling
about it.
around with another dude on the
Yeah,
fucking
he's like,
mat
"Fuck that."
stinks. He's like, but I was just good at it, so I just kept doing it.
That's what I try to tell Ty all the time.
But his son, he was a kid named Preston. And I remember when he was like, I'm like, oh, you just had a baby? He's like, yeah, Preston. I'm like, what is he fucking signing up for fucking like Vineyard Vines? and
Send him
Duke?
to the
Like,
Ivy League right now.
He's like, fuck. I never even thought about that. He's like, what a name. It's like, Jesus Christ.
He's like, wow, we better be tough.
Yeah, it's like fucking. That's a name that like is get prosecuted for date rape at a private school. You know, he's a great kid. I should say that before we go any further.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I said, Squeeze is a tough bastard. I don't want to be on the wrong end of that. Yeah, there's actually a guy that owns Boston Brewing or Boston. Yeah, Irish Boston Brewing, where I played a bunch of times. Paul Aherney's a wrestling coach. Always talks about this Squeeze because he used to coach against him. He's like, that
Oh,
kid's
yeah.
a fucking
Was he a Saugus coach?
animal. Can't remember.
Somewhere around
But he
there, right?
coached against him.
Yeah.
So are you varsity?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you the head coach?
No, I coach running backs and secondary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're back in the game. You were out of the game for a while.
Man, I was out. Yeah, actually thinking about it, I'm like, dude, the last
10 years?
time I coached was like 2017. We won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. Well, that was Woburn, right?
No, that was Melrose.
Melrose.
Yeah.
And then you were Woburn before that, right?
I was Reading before that.
Reading before that, yeah.
And then Woburn before that. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah. So how's it feel to be back out there?
I was sore. I tell you
Yeah?
that much, dude. Just running around on the turf and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's different kind of movements than, like, you think you're in shape, but you're really not in shape. Like,
Yeah.
I'm 45. I
Yeah.
can just go out there and freaking run around, hit kids with bags, and, like, act like a hot ass. It's just, you wake up the next morning, like, oh, shit, my back. Ugh, God. Why was I hitting him so hard with my forearm? Oh, I don't know.
Any fucking younger.
Yeah.
You know?
But no, it feels good, though.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Who does Melrose play? Like, what division are they? Do they go by that now?
Yeah, it changes like every 2 years. It realigns. It's like ridiculous. I think now we might be 3. Either 3 or 4. We were 2 for the longest time when we were growing up, forever.
Yeah.
And then it started switching around in like the mid 2000s, and it bounced back and forth. We actually won the Super Bowl. We won it twice. First time it was Division 4. And the next time I think it was Division 3 in 2019. But now I think we're 3. But it's Middlesex League.
Yep.
Now it's split into large and small. So all the teams in there, you're in the same league, but you play in the playoffs in a different division. It's hard to track. You know? Like Stoneham's one of our rivals. They play like Division 6.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they're like in the Super Bowl like every year, because they're good.
Yeah. You know it's not hard to track? Tedco.
Nice.
Listen, real quick. Get in bed with Ted, our guy. Teddy. Teddy is the man. We know he'll do your basement. He'll put an addition on your house. He'll help you through the whole process, a better construction process. 617-996-6827. By the way, I had a meeting with Ted. We were just talking about business shit. Every morning he sends me a little motivational quote now. I'm like, let's fucking do this, Teddy. You know what I mean? Fucking Tuesday. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's fucking go out. Who's got our money? You know? You got his money. All right? Spend it. You know what's good after a football game?
Roast beef. Bella's. Bella's roast beef. North Andover, Massachusetts, 1211 Osgood Street. Go check out Harry and Sandra. Like I said, they're there. If those doors are open, Harry's there slinging beef. Best beef in the game. Pizza's good. Everything's there is good. One of the cleanest beef shops I've ever been in. You walk into that place and you don't feel there's nothing sticky on the tables. You've been to beef shops where there's sticky tables.
Yeah.
Bella's ain't like
No
that.
sticky shit here.
Yeah, no sticky bullshit at Bella's.
I like the high tables.
Yeah,
too.
it's great.
High tables.
You can stand
stand
and
up.
stand and
then,
eat. That's
then you're
leverage.
Not,
Yeah.
You're not biting into that beef and spilling everything all over your shirt.
That was the one thing I liked.
I have to
about
make
it
a
too.
trip up there this weekend if they're open. I have to get a beef.
BellasNA.com, 1211 Osgood Street, Bellas, North Andover. Get up there.
Buddy of mine who's sending his kid to college went and bought his kid condoms.
Oh, nice.
He's like, basically just sending the message like, don't come home with any. I use the old clocky line on him.
I know you're gonna do this.
Rubbers of a sailor's kid. Rubbers of a sailor's.
I mean,
Those things suck.
I feel like he's probably a little naive if he doesn't think the kid's been getting it in before.
I'm sure. Yes,
that's true. Although this day and age, I don't know.
I know kids
It's
are weird.
Kids are weird.
It is fucking weird this day and age. I don't know.
I feel like they're behind the 8 ball a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like the kids you would assume would be into, like the
banging.
Yeah.
I don't know, all kids into banging.
Well, they
I
might
don't
be
know.
into it. Doesn't mean you're getting it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing more I wanted to be into in my life than banging. You know what I mean? It's like the best. It's like that was like I was talking about. I was walking with Buggy in the woods and we were talking about that, and he was saying how it's.
That's a little odd, but no, okay.
Oh, we were banging. But he was talking about how kids are less like seem to be less into that. Who knows? But I was
Really?
like, dude, all I cared about was trying to do anything that would get me closer to that fucking that thing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The good old days, Dave.
Yeah.
You know.
Jesus.
Brendan used that joke on Buggy. He's like, if we went hiking in the woods and we had sex, would you tell anyone?
Would that be
like,
gay?
No. He's like, you want to go hiking?
Right after it.
I was like,
So
do
you
you want
wanna
to make
go
us gay? Like, I don't know. You know.
Prison, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't count in the woods.
Yeah.
No one saw it,
You ever
right?
drink 15 beers and think you might be gay? Yep. Yeah.
My cock ends in your ass in the woods.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah, at the peak, only at the peak. Talk about peaking.
That's why Tommy turned around.
Turn around, yeah.
So
He knows what goes on up
Didn't
there.
want any of that action.
It
about
was
you know?
like the pineapple club that we saw on the way down.
Oh, yeah, I think he told this story, but maybe I didn't tell it on the show. If I did, whatever. Because Nate's here, so this is actually a pretty weird story. So we get to the tree line to come down. Once you hit the tree line, you're like, fucking yes.
Thank God.
Relief.
We're out of that fucking barren wasteland up there, And we're walking down. This also gave me a false sense of hope because this dude comes trucking up and he's wearing like
Prancing.
prancing.
Yeah, he was.
Whatever you want to say. He was a nice fella. And he's like, we walk by these two, like, in the tree line, we walk by these two areas that are like cut open into rooms. Will took a picture of one. It was like, what did it say? Like, gay sexy or something like that?
Yeah. I
Gay
know.
sex orgy area or something?
It was, gay sex orgy area.
Yeah. And so, Tommy and Will were getting a nice little bang out of that. Literally and figuratively. And then this guy comes up and he's like, I left my pineapple up here.
Hint.
Swear to God.
Yeah.
Like, and it was getting dark. Like, it was like kind of late in the day. And I'm like, oh, we must be pretty close to the camp. But this guy's, he was like, fucking eyes on and shit. And just grabs this pineapple like it was the last pineapple on earth.
Literally.
Needed it for some reason. Like, needed this pineapple pretty bad. You know what I mean?
Evidence on that thing, maybe.
Yeah, this guy was like, he was hurting for a pineapple. Let's just say it. And he's like, all right, yeah. He's like, I just needed to grab this pineapple, and then he just goes fucking trotting back down,
Darting back down the trail.
down, and he's like, got a party to go to in another one of those areas.
What was that?
Yeah, I was a little like,
We were too tired and delusional to
you know what's
even
funny?
pick up on it.
We walked up, like when you walk up, there's these little campsites. That's why we stayed there. And one of the areas, there was this guy there. So he's obviously a ranger. And like the next morning, we walk by the guy again. He's got this little area. He's got this little tent.
Yeah.
Must work for the Forest Service or something. He's drinking his fucking coffee. And I'm like, seems like a pretty good fucking life, like in theory. You know what I mean? I'd be so bored in like a day, But like, I'm like, dude, those guys probably go out there for like 2 weeks, right? And then they like
Yeah.
take like, do it in shifts.
Probably
or
do
something?
shifts, yeah.
Yeah. And they like make sure that, like, I think the guy.
Make sure no one dies up there.
Yeah, we thought the guy might have swung by the camp that night, right? To like
Yeah.
check out everything,
Yeah,
make
'cause
sure we
we
weren't
heard
doing
some-
anything nefarious.
heard some
Pineapple.
noises,
We're
right?
pineapple it up, you know what I
We're
mean?
part of that crowd.
Hey, bud, we're having a pineapple party over here. Get the fuck out of here, or join in, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Once you finish that cup of
Whatever
coffee.
floats your boat.
Because there was a bear box up there, you know what I mean? Just to make sure none of the bears got in, See what I did there? Would you? Are you gonna do any hiking seasons over for you this year or what?
I try to work in at 1 because the past few years it worked out where we had a bye with Ty's team and like Will.
It was a long weekend. It was Columbus Day weekend, I think, right? We went.
Yeah, was it this weekend?
Yeah,
No,
it was a long.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. But I think they have a JV game this year. Or
I was all
something
fucking amped
that.
up. I'm like, I'm gonna love this.
Yeah.
Got up there, I'm like, I don't love this.
No, you
Like,
thought it was over after that first 3 miles. You're
Well,
like, oh, I'm good. I'm like,
Yeah, you're like, dude, we haven't even fucking. The trip is not
you
yet
get
begun.
another 9, buddy.
I didn't realize how out of shape I
Uphill.
was until I did that fucking shit. Thank God we have Cody Lucis to thank for my life and me
Just
being here
seeing Mohan's numbers the other day.
still. Oh yeah, he did Jefferson, Adams, and Madison the other day.
Yeah.
He did the 3 peaks.
So he came across.
Yeah,
the
came
back.
across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Nice.
did, I want to say, what was it, like 24,000 steps, but then it was like 211 flights of stairs tracked on his fucking
Jesus.
thing.
Oh yeah, you're on 4,000 feet of
I was
elevation.
like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
And he went solo.
That's pretty dumb. No.
Well, he said you're done, but taking me up there in October.
Well, it's dumb to hike solo, too. So,
Well, maybe
touche.
you can hike with Mohan someday. He fucking loves the shit. Yeah. We lived to tell a tale. Those are the best tasting steak tips I've ever had in my life. We got down to the
I don't know if it was the fact that we were like that deprived of
nutrition.
Probably.
of everything.
Yes. The best
But
was
they were pretty good.
the best was your brother. Yeah, I mean the stuff's legal now, so I don't think it's a big deal. But like
Oh,
Tommy and Willa,
That was hilarious.
like sitting there and like we get back to the camp, we're like cooking some food and just like fucking can't even get up off the ground.
Sitting on the ground.
Cody's
laying
like,
on the
"Hey
ground.
guys, if you smell something, I'm smoking a joint over here. I don't fucking know what to tell you." Like fucking,
I'm not sugarcoating anything.
yeah.
Like, I'm dead.
I'm fucking doing this fucking.
Didn't he have something wrong with his foot, too? Or
Yeah, he was fucking. Cody's a truck.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a fucking big kid. Talk about a kid who could get either jacked out of his mind or like be thin and like.
Oh, yeah. It depends on what, frame of mind he's in. I
Yeah,
guess.
Nate's brother Cody's like has like an obsessive personality. Like he's like a sick guitar player, like fucking metal shit. Like he can do anything. Like if he decides he's doing it, it's gonna be like perfect. Like
Yeah.
everything he does. That's how he is. Yeah, he was also his misery meter like mine was rising as the day went on.
Yeah.
we were.
He didn't realize what he was in for either.
I
don't
said I've
think.
known Cody since he was like 9 or whatever it was, and he's a good bit younger than me and Nate, and I was like we bonded over our misery up there. You know what I mean? We became close.
You locked eyes at the moment
How
where
big
it
is
was
he?
dark.
He taller than you?
He's probably 6 feet, 6'1"
Yeah.
maybe. But he's a good like 225.
Yeah, and he was.
He was like 240 in high
Dude,
school.
when he was
playing.
coming out of high school, I hadn't seen him in
Tree
forever.
trunk of legs.
And I'm like, holy fuck, this kid is fucking huge.
Yeah.
He was a great shot put.
Yeah, he's got the Melrose High record.
Yeah, he's fucking great. He was great. He said he was gonna take Tommy down and work on some form. Then shot put kids don't get like they like just go over there and fucking throw this thing. They don't-
you're gonna
Yeah.
just
They don't
go
have
up to
like basically the way it works in Melrose is like
Coach Mo.
if you're not playing like baseball or something, you are fucking the coach of the football team is also the coach of the track teams. So he basically wants you are fucking gonna be doing track and mainly so he can have you lifting in there
Yeah,
like, your entire time.
stay in shape for the
100%.
fucking football
Yeah,
season.
yeah. And it works.
Under the watchful eye.
It
Yeah.
fucking works. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? Those guys don't fucking miss their lifts. Like they get it in. Their shot putting is not great, but they're in good shape.
It's funny because I'm sure none of those guys listen to this, but Cody wanted to coach track at Melrose, and this was like years ago. And Timmy was like, "You're too good.
Yeah.
Like you're too technical. You're too involved. Like that's not what I'm looking for here.
Yeah.
Like I'm just looking for the bare minimum.
Yeah.
We don't want to be spending that much time
Yeah.
on the actual,
Yeah. Make sure
events.
these guys are getting their bench press in and they're ready for
He's like,
football
I'm not hiring
season.
this other guy. Doesn't he knows a little bit, but
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah. All right. So that was good. We'll do a little Patreon.
Yeah, are we missing one sponsor?
We did Misguided. We did Tedco. We did Jumptown. We did
Bellas.
Bellas. And we did Benchcraft.
Benchcraft.
And
We're missing one.
Tedco. Tedco, Benchcraft. Bellas. Jumptown. Misguided.
Jumptown's just the jump line. We
Yeah.
have 5 sponsors. Misguided, Bellas.
Oh, fucking how? My brain's broken because I'm not drinking.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Who we missing?
Ben
on the
Franklin
wagon?
Print Company.
There we go.
Ah.
I knew we
Fucking
were missing one.
idiot. How could I forget that? Ben Franklin Print Company. Listen, if you have any gear of ours, if you have anything from North Shore Beefs, you're already wearing them. He is doing all the gear for Twisted Fate, by the way. By the way, quick shout out, Twisted Fate. He still gets finally something cool for your weekend. Go check them out. They're up in Danvers. 978-624-7341. Ben Franklin Print Co. For all your needs, they can wrap your car. As Ferg says, they can wrap your coffin. Custom embroidery, graphic design, vinyl graphics, screen printing. They do it all. How could I forget about Joe? Joe is the man. So anyways, tell them you're with us. Tell them you're a Corker. We'll give you 10% off your order. It's coming time for hoodie season.
Yep.
By the way, put it out in the world. We only have a couple hoodies left. So if you are like somebody who's in the market for a hoodie and you're like, let us know because we don't want to order them all if we're not going to, move them.
Yep.
We can order them again. Maybe we'll do a different design this time even. I was thinking finally something cool on the back actually. Holding the cork. Maybe something like that. We'll see. Last things before we get to that. We're talking about Tessa's going to the game. We got to make a trip down to Carolina next year.
Yeah.
See a game.
That's a must.
We got to do that.
I
SEC,
still haven't been to like
a big college
a
football game.
true big time.
Yeah.
BC.
I went to Tennessee, Kentucky.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, I think I've told
That's
that
pretty big.
story on the show.
I want to go like big time.
Florida, Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, I think I was talking to my buddy
Michigan,
Stroud was in here the other night. He's a
OSU.
big Bama guy, and I think he's going to go to Bama, Carolina. So
Nice.
that'll be a big game. Carolina, I think, is pretty good, but they're not like top 25.
Yeah. No, the quarterback's back. I think they
I think
should.
they have a
They
great
should be.
wideout
They should be
combination
decent
too. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be watching that game. Somebody's like, "Oh, you're all in now." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking have some." The game's on at 4:30 on Saturday, so I was like, "Oh, anybody wants to come by and watch the game?" Somebody's like, "Oh, Mr. Carolina." Now I'm like, "They got all my money, so I mean, might as well fucking be the fucking biggest fan that you ever met."
All in. All
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Who are they playing?
They are playing like Old Dominion or something like that. It's
Oh,
a
okay,
pretty
yeah.
cupcake game, and then I'm going to see him play the Akron Zips next month.
That's who went there? Akron.
Where did Edelman go?
No, he went to Kent State. I was thinking Edelman though.
Yeah.
Someone went to Akron. I don't know.
Well, Bailey Zappi, R.I.P. He was a hilltopper.
The Hilltopper,
He's
Western
responsible
Kentucky.
for me not having a tattoo of the Longhorn Lounge in my life.
Bailey.
He'll never be forgotten around
He's
here.
now a chief, I think, right?
Did he go to the Chiefs?
I thought I saw something on the Instagram
Yeah?
saying he had a deal in place.
Should get a lot of run out there.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna
Just
start
like
a
Patty
fucking-
Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll do a little Patreon. Nate, thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
Thanks,
absolutely. Anytime.
And rebutting my experience on the mountain. So I have you to thank for that great content.
We'll get another one in you.
We'll see. All right. Have a pineapple. Have a great fucking weekend. Enjoy yourself. Actually, we'll be putting this up after the weekend. So hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. Everything was safe. Bye.
Hope you had a pineapple.